My Happy Marriage has just gotten more serious and more mysterious than it has ever gotten. With Arata showing up, Mio must use her mysterious powers, knowing full well that she might actually die. Kyoka goes to investigate why a demon just swallowed another manhole, as something is lurking, smirking, and ready to start a revolution with Demon Mother Teresa watching from the sidelines. Will she finally be able to accept Mio after putting her life on the line? All of this is jam-packed into one episode, culminating into a moment of desire and the purity of love. That is the sensitive swapping of mouth to mouth, lip to lip of body heat. Welcome to another episode review of My Happy Marriage, Season 2, Episode 3, Ino Shinkyoto Oni. Arata comes barging in like a caring family member would do, and because the burden of the empire is literally on his shoulders. Like in the previous season, Arata is heavily driven by his sense of duty, so he is composed, calculated, and cold-blooded as ever as he tells Mio,
"When the hell did you get so brazen?"
that you are about to use a power that can literally kill you. And the others, Fuyu is totally like,
"Who the hell are you?"
Some small, insignificant anime YouTuber calls me Cousin NTR, but my real name is Usuba Arata. I'm here because I have to make sure my cousin doesn't end up killing everyone by mistake. And to you, my blessed aged beauty, thanks for taking care of my cousin. We got two funny dynamics going on here. Arata thinks Demon Mother Teresa is such an awesome mother-in-law that wasn't ready to just smite his cousin if it wasn't for the patriarchy. And Fuyu having to fully buy into the fact that what she knows and stereotyped about Mio is just totally, utterly wrong. Know your place, lady. Arata ends up telling Fuyu about who he is, like how he works at the Imperial Household Ministry as a negotiator and has had to fight to the death. Work with his son, Kyoka, for work. Mio updates Arata about why she was about to use her powers, and Arata uses the softer and more caring side of his stern demeanor to show how dangerous it is for her to use Dream Sight, as it can kill her, and tells her that she needs to rethink about using her powers recklessly because of how much it might affect her loved ones that care for her. You heard that, Cousin NTR. Self-yeeting is selfish. Although Arata warns Mio of the dangers of using Dream Sight alone, Mio is correct to conclude that it would help save this poor man that got traumatized by his friend getting eaten alive. And now this mix of this demon, coat, and meth is starting to get to poor Kota as he starts to shapeshift, with Cousin NTR by Mio's side to help guide her, even though her powers are a huge question mark. Saving another human being is the heroic thing to do, and so, body heat. This is another great hook to the episode that delves right into the matter of fact. It honestly didn't take a long time for Fuyu to be put in her place, because having someone that actually confirms that Mio isn't a Suba messes with her hierarchy. Everyone that plays this social hierarchy game is eventually going to run into someone of higher status. So it's going to be interesting now if Fuyu can accept Mio and be kinder to her. At this point, I still find Arata's character to be the more interesting one out of the main three characters. It's actually a little bit harder to predict what he would do because he has such a strong sense of duty for the Asubas and for the prince, because his actions can be of a hindrance or it can actually help Kyoka and Mio. But at the end of the day, Mio has to use her powers at some point, and in order to gain control of your powers, you gotta use it. And we know the plot is eventually gonna lead to this anyways. So into the void of mystery we go. Kyoka is sprinting like crazy, and the NPCs are screaming about the demons at the meth lab mansion. What Kyoka runs into is the crux of the plot. Another cult member appears before Kyoka to explain exactly what they are doing, like most dumb bad guys do. Going with the theme of the series and this arc, the cult member criticizes Kyoka like, "Screw you people with these amazing abilities and all this knowledge, that you people keep all the power and secrets of wealth to yourselves, you handsome bastard. This whole cult and their aims are like a metaphor for a revolution to overthrow the rich and powerful that control everything. Kyoka represents exactly that, blessed with the top 1% of power, authority, and handsomeness. The cult has been giving these people with no abilities with abilities of their blessings of demon meth. You saw that last guy in the previous episode? He was totally like the Human Torch, except he can't actually stand the heat. Kyoka is beside himself with this communist foolery, while the cult guy enemy tells Kyoka, "This is for equality!" Kyoka deflects the cultist attack with the cultist continuing his communist propaganda and blows a whistle to signal something significant to the cult of the gifted communion. The cultist outs their founder as Usui Naoshi and goes invisible and seemingly disappears. This leads to a real demon with two cultists riding its back to take on the Man of Lightning. The demon dashes at our dashing blonde-headed hero and then Chi-Chi. Look at this trope of characters spawning right in the middle of a life or death situation, but with plot armor. Life or death doesn't matter when character development between a father and a son matters that much more. Tadakio is like, "I got this and you got them," and dashes towards the cultist. The demon jumps in the air with the weirdest sound effect for a voice and does multiple flips like an unnecessary gymnast routine, but very cool visual to see. As the Man of Lightning, Kyoka decides to go with fire this time and launches a fireball at the demon. Tadakio ducks and dodges like he's in his youth again to give these two cultists the 1-2 and floats in the air to deliver. Wait a minute, a double smack! The demon pulls back up like, "You ain't got me yet," but Kyoka knows exactly how these scenes end because it ends with Owari da. Behind every demon is actually just a ningen. It looks like after defeating these demon creatures, it was the cultist meth that turned them into monsters. Every time you look at a good villain in a good villain plot, there's always something real and truthful behind why villains do villainous things. I use the word communism because that is the perfect analogy for the cult's aims. It sounds like a good idea to give equality, giving weak people, less fortunate people, power. That sounds good, right? But in practice, it's dystopian. So for our villains, the gifted chameleon, those cultists, it's this warped reality of trying to apply something that they think is good for humanity. But as we can see here, with the NPCs turning into demons, they just become jacked up meth heads. Mio hops into the dream world and finds the poor middle-aged man struggling to not become a demon. And Mio uses the purity of her heart and her powers to make those demon horns disappear. But no, a demon's hand comes from underwater to continue turning poor Kota back into a demon. While he struggles, Mio contemplates what to do next, but she knows exactly what to do next. Like any heroic MC, it's time to literally turn on these lights to overcome the darkness. Mio wakes back up to her cousin's voice in one peace of mind, and Kota's worst trip of his life starts to wake back up to the person that birthed him. Just like at the end of season 1 with Mio overcoming her traumatized mirror self and basically killing Takahito's dad, the emperor, she has done it once again with Arata's support and becomes a real hero to save another man's life. This has been another good checkpoint for Mio's character development, from trying to overcome her situation with Kyoka's mother, and now with the power she possesses, she's using it in front of everyone. It's one of those things where she can outwardly show that she can be a strong leader for the Kudo family. Like Arata or not, he is very necessary to make sure and to quell our worries that anything can happen to Mio when he's around. He's literally the link to make sure that Mio doesn't completely kill herself or kill other people by accident. It's a fairly anticlimactic scene, even though it seems like it was building up for something a little bit major. But what it does set us up even further, like the very opening scene of the season, that her powers are definitely something that can make things go totally wrong. Kyoka comes running back home in search of Mio.
Dana-sama!
Look at these two lovebirds. They're going to have the cutest babies in the world one day. Arata! What are you doing here, cousin NTR? The prince told this now head Usuba that there's a big plot brewing in this area with some cultists. Kyoka goes into the details of who he just fought with his father, and that they used this blood to help turn humans into demons, to bring equality to the world, where everyone gets a power like lighting yourself on fire. Kyoka goes on that the cultists told him that their leader is none other than Usui Naoshi, in which it gets Arata's eyes to open wider. We got ourselves a Masaka moment. Usui Naoshi has the same blood as the Usubas. Is this purposeful misinformation or purposeful information to lead our heroes to react a certain way? That is yet to be revealed. Usui Naoshi himself is from a branch of the Usubas that suddenly disappeared and may have reappeared in the first episode of the season. He apparently has supernatural abilities akin to the Usubas and was a potential pairing for Mio's mother, Sumi. It looks like Prince Takahito was correct in putting the burden on the head of the Usubas because he can literally see the future. And as it turns out, it's literally their fault in this matter. Since this is an Usuba related issue, it has to be weighing on the mind of Mio. However, when there is pressure and worry, that's where a supporting, handsome partner comes in to warm you with some chivalry. Look at you.
Me?
Yeah, you. My mom hates you. You're probably gonna have to fight your long distance uncle that probably wants to do who knows what with you, but that's okay. With me by your side, nothing will ever break how I feel about you, and no one will ever lay their dirty, evil hands on you. Whether you're sick or depressed, I'll be there. When it's that time of the month, I'll be there. And when there's a cousin NTR, I'll definitely be there. Whatever you lack, I'll make up for it. The times you feel weak and cry, I'll warm you up at the fireplace. And whatever danger that becomes present in our future, Mio asks if she is doing enough for Kyoka, and of course she is. The moment gets hot and heavy with some heart-pounding emotions of pure love. Doki, doki. With the first-person perspective changing to Mio's, a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do for the woman he loves, and the woman he will go to the ends of the earth for, just like when her own family kidnapped her. Mio, it's time to consent. For some hand-to-hand, eye-to-close eye, lip-to-lip, body. And with the end of a brilliantly romantic scene, RMC is living in pure bliss. As someone that didn't read the light novel, I actually didn't really see this coming. But I like that the fact that the romantic progression has advanced this far. They keep teasing these one-on-one scenes, so it's nice to actually see the payoff with some body. Coochie. Not that coochie, but the lip, mouth-to-mouth swap of DNA. That is the saliva that is not yours, but has welcomed itself and made a new home in your mouth, becoming one with the very fiber of your being, as Mio beside herself in bed. Isn't she the darnest of things? As our MC, she couldn't sleep because the man she loves exchanged a part of his bodily fluids with her. It's a new day, and Mio is a new woman that has made many strides in her life. It takes out the dress that Hazuki picked out for her. She is totally disappointed that she wasn't able to whip out this bad piece of fabric to show her man a different side of her beauty.
Ohairi kudasai.
Nae asked to come in Mio's room, and who comes in first? Demon Mother Teresa. Ready to rain on Mio's parade of lip-to-lip, mouth-to-mouth swap of sensuality with her son, Fuyu continues to belittle poor Mio. Like,
Don't ever come back.
you're more of a nuisance than my first bout with menopause. Although Fuyu is mean and cold, we know what the true translations of her words really mean, as we can see a crack in her words of belittling when she brings up Mio's dress.
Is that your dress?
It's a shame that you didn't get to wear it. Mio continues to fold by constantly apologizing to Fuyu's annoyance. To be strong. If you want to be a kudo, you gotta have a little demon Mother Teresa in you that stands up for herself and to not appear as meek and weak and fragile. As we can tell in the scene, Fuyu just wants Mio to show the strength and resolve to stand up for herself, and don't apologize when you feel like you shouldn't. Speak with clear and concise clarity, because that is what a kudo woman would do. But didn't you just try to slap her after she stood up for herself? With Mio slightly afraid and head bowing down with tears ready to fall,
Demon.
Mother Teresa starts to show a bit of compassion, tender love, and care for her future daughter-in-law.
I don't give a crap about your past.
Quit apologizing. You're ugly, boring,
Did I mention ugly?
you lack class, are uneducated.
And I totally don't accept you.
Wow, that sounds just like what you've been saying before.
However, Fuyu ain't finished. She acknowledges what happened last night and that Mio was willing to do whatever it takes to support and be there for her son, putting her life literally on the line when it mattered the most. Fuyu, with an angry, blushing face, acknowledges that Mio did just enough to support her man, and that might just be enough for her to finally acknowledge Mio. So Mio wants to have her tears of happiness poured down her face without apologizing again, and Fuyu forces her to put out her hand to give her
Garbage!
for a
Garbage person.
At least, that's what Fuyu says out loud, because we know women really speak with their actions and deceive with their words. As Fuyu explains that it's a ribbon that she used to wear, and so in Fuyu translation, this is her gift to Mio, and wants her to handle it with care and support of her son, as it's a gift that she used to wear when she was a baddie. And also, wear your dress. Fuyu turns around and dips out of the room, trying to conceal how she really feels. OG Maid Nae becomes the Fuyu translator of emotions and actions to acknowledge this entire scene was about them acknowledging Mio's bravery from last night. For once, Mio gets to put on a big fat smile regarding Okazama. She's already 10 times better than the Saimoris.
Demon.
Mother Teresa pulls up to her son to tell him
That next time you bums come,
his chick better not be such a timid, apologizing.
loser.
Kudos are confident and don't take shit from nobody, even from their own family apparently. That translates to Kyoka as,
I think we're all finally getting along.
in the next scene, Mio, in her Hazuki pick dress, stands next to a smiling cousin NTR to give their thanks of hospitality. Tadakiel tells Mio to make sure to take care of his standoffish son. As the young new leaders of the Kudo family are off in their carriage, we'll do Fuyu a solid by calling her one last time as
Demon.
Mother Fuyu. Transitioning into the investigation of the cultists, it looks like the military is on their move, with Yoshiro making a move on the cult. Break yourself, Fu! It looks like all the gifted chameleon cult members went MIA, but Goto and all of his military people went inside an empty room, only to fall into a trap. A gassy smoke releases, and mysterious symbols of light from under Yoshiro start to light up, and so the scene ends and begins with steam smoke. Oh, we're getting right into the thick of the plot. Kyoka, Mio, and Arata get off the train, with Kyoka working his way back to the military offices, and Arata taking Mio home before reporting to Prince Takahito. However, the mystery of a plot is back to reveal itself in the flesh, as the man, presumably Usui Naoshi, makes his appearance right before them, as the sense of danger is up to 100% and everyone is completely on guard as danger slowly approaches them and drops a banger of a cliffhanger to muddy the waters to say that Mio is his daughter. I can't lie, this season has started off really good. For this short little part of Kyoka's family arc, we got to see the satisfying payoff with Fuyu. Even though a lot of these things in the story we can easily predict what will happen, to actually still see it and see their nuances in their personalities come out, it's still pretty satisfying. And then from every scene of Mio and Kyoka being alone together that never really culminates into anything romantically, it's nice to see that after such a big massive event where their lives are literally in danger, that they come back together and share this very important moment to end it with the most important thing possible: body heat. What the season has been doing so far has been impressing me as it slowly builds up Mio's dream side ability and how that eventually connects to the main plot of the Usubas and Naoshi, as this dude apparently is leading a cult. This entire time Arata is trying to protect Mio, but it seems like now we have a person connected to their family who is a legitimate direct threat to them, as he shares the same abilities that they have. Everything that we've seen so far in the first 3 episodes have been lower leverage moments with small rewards, but still really rewarding moments. Mio successfully using her powers without anything going wrong, but we do know at some point it's going to go terribly wrong, and that's obviously going to connect somehow to Naoshi and the cult. And so if the antagonists and these villains are good villains, they're gonna find a W somewhere. So the first 3 episodes addresses what the main plot would be: Mio connected to the Subas, Naoshi, the cult, and it really put the 3 main characters, that is Kyoka, Mio, and Arata, it's putting them at their absolute peak before facing a truly adverse situation. This is what I really like about season 2, because it focuses more on the mysterious elements of the plot. So there's like a sense of tenseness, and the pacing seems like it's going by a lot faster, and we're seeing a little bit less of that slice of life. So for Mio's character arc, she's in the middle of her courageous phase. Remember what Fuyu told Kyoka? She's not wrong with the annoyance of Mio being timid. That is a legitimate character flaw of Mio, that she doesn't stand up for herself enough and she doesn't act in confidence. That is actually in one of my opinions from season 1 that I found annoying about her character. But how that season ended in season 1 and now in season 2, we are at the payoff part of her character where she becomes a lot more courageous and stands up for herself. This is why season 2 is so damn good. The bigger picture payoffs are present. This is where anime fans get a bad rap at telling people, hey, just keep watching, it gets better. I feel like we've all said this to someone before with an anime that we liked, that we stuck through it, and we got to finally see those good payoffs. I think My Happy Marriage may be one of those. In this episode in particular, I think it was better than the last 2, as the last 2 literally sets up for this end of this portion of the arc, as the excitement that is building right now is coming to a very important plot point with Naoshi apparently showing up. So yeah guys, let me know what you guys thought about the 3rd episode of season 2 of My Happy Marriage. I wasn't quite sure what to expect out of the 2nd season of My Happy Marriage, but I'm glad that this is the route in the story that it took, and it feels like each episode there are tons of rewards and there are a ton of things to look forward to with each character and what could be in their future. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this episode of My Happy Marriage and everything up until this point. And do me a favor guys, hit the like button or body heat, and subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Check out my blog at otakusen.com, and I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.